While I was away, I earned $400 million.
Holy crap!
So it turns out I make more money by not making swords than I do by making them. But I guess we might as well start spending this money. Crucible capacity +1, +2. And then we'll add a little bit of hammer power. And then my least favorite of all, the sharpening. We're gonna go ahead and crank that up. Also a little bit of mining speed and mining power. Okay, for now, let's sell one of the old swords for $8,000, not that we need the money, and make us a new one. So our crucible is going to have a little bit of extra room, so we'll get more ore than ever before. We just need to find some of the good stuff. We're not after a particularly promising start, but that's okay. It's only uphill from here. Why, it's worth $859 a minute, which is absolute garbage.
Right, that's why it's super funny to me.
Look how big our sword rack is now. You can't even see the back of it. He wants a weapon within 10 minutes to decimate the forest. My friend, you're looking for what's called an axe. But whatever, if he wants a sword to take on the forest, there you go, have one of these. There's $10,000, good luck in your venture. Honestly, I feel like that guy's gonna lose to the trees. So let's get back to work. A red ore? What's a red one? Have we seen red before? That's gotta be new and rare. And blue. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. Silver's boring, but what can you do? Titanium. And more of the blue stuff. Yeah, this is probably gonna be far and away the most valuable sword we've had yet. Okay, I'll take the black one. And this, I believe, is a diamond because it's that kind of bluish gray. Then for all of these, I think we'll take whatever this is because that seems like a value. Soak it all in now. It's gonna be beautiful. While I'm at it, we're also gonna step up to, say, the Viking blade. Wow, these actually get really expensive. But I also just remembered how rich I am, so... And then there we go. It's done. Cut the cardboard maybe a few times. And the value of this bad boy, $10,000 a minute. Yep, that's the first sword I have worth over $10,000. So I wonder if Idiot Stick defeated the forest. What's the update, my good moron? When I came here before, I succeeded in my mission and killed my enemy. You managed to defeat the trees, you wonderful hero. The next idiot is looking for a weapon that contains adamantium to recapture a dungeon to reclaim lost territory to the north. Is it full of trees? Well, my good moron, I've got just what you need right here. This thing is 20% adamantium, $20,000 well spent. I don't know why I want to serve customers so bad. I still make money doing nothing. And look how expensive they make shine speed. 3.64 million to get an extra 5%. There's 10 million. It's worth it. Okay, I think we're overdue to make yet another creation, so we're gonna go ahead and grab pretty much just whatever the game wants to give us right now. We're starting to get into the good ores. Like, here's another titanium, the red one, and a yellow one. We haven't seen gold in a while. I'm gonna also buy the Sunblade recipe. I was hoping it would be simpler than this, because this is gonna be annoying to do every time. But it's got to be worth it because look how pretty it is. People can admire that when it's stabbing them in the stomach. I think they really kind of appreciate that kind of craftsmanship. The forge was a success. That's actually pretty valuable. Not sure how we managed, probably because just the amount of ore that goes in there. That's worth $8,000. We're up to $823 per second. When I left here, I succeeded in my mission and killed my enemy. Good for you. Lucas here wants a Viking-style blade. By happy coincidence, I have quite a few of those. As long as you promise to kill someone with it, there you go, you get $80,000. I get $80,000 for this. And the joke's on him, it was pure garbage. I'm going to upgrade my crucible capacity one more time. That's at max capacity. So I've already spent over $100 million on my sword craft. And that's kind of funny to me because I feel like they're less valuable than they were before. The quality's really gone downhill, but you don't care as much when you're already rich. The crucible's at max capacity, so that's as much ore as we can fit into one little Viking blade. This steel feels like it takes way too long, and it's a huge increase on where it started. Anyways, we have a success. This one's worth $7,000 a minute, which is fine. Get on the rack, make me some money. I couldn't help but notice though, we've got some rather cheap upgrades for the hammer speed. So that's max hammer power, so we're really going to straighten things out in a hurry now. Yeah, we'll spend $8 million on that. So I spent about $150 million. Wow, look at how powerful my hammer is now. There's one titanium, one blue, one gold. This is going to be a fun little sword. There's another titanium. Oh, and a diamond. This might actually end up being like a super value sword. I don't know if it goes by the amount of money you spend, but suddenly we're finding like all the good ore. Except for these. I'm not really sure which one the good one here is, so we'll take a silver. But maybe before we do a Viking blade, let's get a new one. Let's go to Jagged Blade, since we're very good at making them tilted anyway. This looks like something you really don't want to get stabbed by, so it's really fun that we're built. Look at that hammer go. This is the weirdest, stupidest sword I've ever made, but it's going to be so valuable. This looks like something a toddler would cut out of cardboard. This legitimately would serve you better probably as a club than a sword.
No, I think it's perfect the way it is.
And it's only uncommon after all that. There's diamond, there's gold, there's mithril, magnesium. Wasn't there titanium there somewhere? Whatever. He wants an uncommon sword because he wants to join an uptight farmer in the south. I have just the sword for you. I guess we'll just increase the sword value a little bit because we'll get that money back eventually because we're investors like that. This one is absolutely horrible. So we'll go ahead and put it on the rack. After I came by, I survived so far but did not kill my enemy. Yeah, that's because you're attacking him with like a pizza cutter. But we're finally making over $1,000 a second. Oh, what do you want? I'm looking for a weapon with a hefty style hilt. I have just the garbage for you, my friend. This is a hefty style hilt with basically no blade at all. Okay, back to work. That's probably bad. That's probably bad. Whatever. I don't know why we don't like choose what ore we put into swords. We just mine whatever happens to fall onto our table. It's always a good feeling when you see a little red and blue in there. Okay, I'm going to try a hook blade this time for $2 million and we're going to go hook hilt. So at least they're matching. What is this thing? I mean, I'll happily smith this. I just feel sorry for the person who's going to try and use this to do anything.
The standard Ottoman hook blade has two parts, you see.
But does it cut things? Yes, it seems to still cut things, not that I care. It's a common hook blade, hook whatever, $7,000. So far, I'm honestly just spending a lot of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars making swords that nobody wants. But I am about to hit level 60. 8 minutes with a Viking-style blade. I don't know if I should be doing these guys' quests or not. Okay, well, we'll whip you up the worst sword you've ever seen. I don't know what he said it had to be, so he's just going to get whatever happens to come out of these rocks. Yep, that's pretty bad. So, yeah, we're going to sell it to him. Or it at least went somewhere, so that's fine by me. $240 million to spend. What do we do? Well, hammer power certainly gets expensive. Mining power will do a little bit more. It's very expensive for every mining power upgrade. Which is weird considering all it really does is just smash these rocks very slightly faster. And this isn't a particularly time-consuming part. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, so it's really a little bit of fun. Okay, let's try Arabic blade. I'm pretty sure someone's going to want one of these as soon as I make them because people seem to want the new things I'm making. We'll go ahead and hammer that into a nice sharp shape. And that actually looks pretty good now that it's done. And it's worth $10,000, so somehow we actually made a pretty good sword. And we're running out of sword capacity, but that's a good problem to have. And we'll do another Arabic style sword and hilt. Yeah, that's got a nice reddish hue to it, and I really like that. It's only common, but it's very valuable. I've really got to make myself a color chart at some point. We found cobalt, though. I wish I knew what color that was, because I keep forgetting what is what. But there's a lot of blue and a little bit of red in here, plus some cobalt, so this might actually be a pretty good sword. So let's go with a Viking hilt and maybe a... what's a king blade? Yeah, that's weird looking. Let's make him one of those. He's going to get a sword that's like 95% blade. There's no way this would ever function properly. That would be so heavy in your hand. But that's okay for me, because he'll go try and kill someone, he'll die, then I'll get my sword back. I actually thought this would be a little bit more valuable. With all our swords, we are up to $1,500 a second, so we could probably start to replace some of the worst quality of them. Which is actually one of my hook blades. That's going to scrap for $22,000, and let's see if we can make us a new one. So there's the finished product. It's actually very, very valuable. It must have had some rare gray materials in it. I'll take it. So let's sell one of these old bad boys. There's some gold, so we got a gold, diamond, red stuff. Ooh, what is that? Is that new? That might be new. I feel like this could be something valuable, so let's go to, ooh, burnt blade. Yeah, that's not expensive at all, $3 million. This is probably going to be a ceremonial sword, but it probably looks neat. There's its fancy design. We're going to find a way to sharpen this ridiculous thing. And this is definitely quite valuable just because of the stuff it's made. It's 25% gold, which means it's very heavy and very soft. I'm the local healer. I'll have a sword that contains steel. Are you going to heal people with steel? Because I approve your method. Well, because of everything it's made out of, it's very valuable, but it's just uncommon because it's hard to stack up like 7 rare things. But that's a lot of earnings. That by itself is worth $22,000 on the shelf. There's no way anyone would ever want one of these. But this is the apparently top tier sword, so hundreds of millions of dollars of research went into exactly this design. I don't think this would ever function as anything at all. Even as a decoration, it's pretty bad. It is halfway valuable, but I don't think that's based on the design. That's based on materials. It is really big, though. I was trying to choose a different... well, whatever. Here's what we got. One of these. Okay, it's actually ridiculously valuable. I'm not selling him this one. I'm going to keep this one. It's probably not very practical, but it looks kind of neat. we're gonna, ooh, look at all the red stuff. Leveling up works. So we're going to make a different sword. I don't really know what we want. Those two dark ones are different colors, but it's hard to see that because they're subtle. Ooh, this might be good. And I just realized we are making $3,000 a second, so we're actually making quite a bit of money even as we're doing this all. This sword feels really weird. I feel like it's a really big handle with no blade again. But what do I know? That's only $10,000? I know that sounds like a lot because it used to be a lot, but it's not really anymore. Alright, well, let's try that again. Let's sell our, this one, which I actually like the color of, for something naturally that's going to be even better. Well, whatever, give me all this. It's probably super valuable. The more valuable I think a sword is, the less valuable it always ends up. I think this one's actually worse than the last one. It's hardly worth $10,000. Okay, so platinum looks a little bit like diamond. I need to remember that. We want dark blue and platinum and magnesium. Oh, but also tungsten and aluminum. The values in this are confusing to me. Okay, I am running out of sword capacity, so let's spend $4 million. Let's spend $15 million. There we can fit more swords in. This is the first time I learned I can actually move the sword rack back and forth, but we got to get to work again. Okay, let's go back in time a little bit. We're going to make a great blade and a fancy hilt. But if they want something with lots of blade, this is the sword for them. And it even has like a French fry for the hilt, which makes a pretty bad sword. But that's got a really big blade. If you fit that with the right hilt, we might be onto something. This guy wants an uncommon sword. Well, let me make you one of those right now. I think it's actually less valuable when you use the basic forges though. Okay, I was maybe wrong about more expensive designs being worth more because this is only $7,000 and this is like the biggest sword. Okay, so this is still the most time-consuming part, so I'm going to spend $100 million on that. And just like that, we've spent $300 million on sword R&D today. This one's not bad, but we basically spent $300 million making swords that nobody wants. Well, this might be the pinnacle of the swords, simply because it's worth $35,000. Unfortunately, I don't have any room on my shelf, so I've got to scrap that for $175,000. Which is strange because there's a place on my shelf, but that was the ultimate sword as far as I can make. Although I do think I just found a new material, iridium. It's only uncommon, but it's purple. So after level 90 we can find new stuff, but it's boring iridium. But also looking down the list, I've circled around again. There's one more super rare thing that's the end of it.